You want to hear something that still keeps me up at night? Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you. It happened about 2 years ago. I worked at this old bridal shop tucked into a quiet, historic part of town. You know the kind: cobblestone streets, faded signage, the kind of place that feels frozen in time. The shop had been there since the 1950s, and before it did weddings, it sold evening gowns to movie stars who used to hide out in the hills nearby. It had this charm, but also this eerie stillness, especially after dark. I'd been working there for about 5 years, mostly alone during closing shifts. I was good at the job, really good. I could tell you what style a bride wanted the second she walked in. I loved it, honestly. But then, Betty showed up. It was just after 7, and I remember it so clearly because I was dead tired and dying to get home. I had just shut the register, flipped the close sign, and was halfway through locking the door when I saw her, just standing there outside the glass. No sound, no footsteps. Just suddenly, there. She didn't knock or wave, just looked in like she'd been waiting. And the weirdest part? She was beautiful. I don't mean model beautiful, I mean haunting. Pale, almost glowing skin. Light green eyes that looked like they'd seen too much. Her hair was pulled into a perfect French twist, like something you'd see in an old black and white movie. She wore this lavender dress, old-fashioned but elegant, like it had been preserved in a cedar chest for decades. Everything about her screamed, "Not from here, not from now." I hesitated, but something made me unlock the door anyway. "I'm so sorry," she said softly. "I know I'm late, but I'm eloping and I need a dress. Just something simple." Her voice was gentle, almost too gentle, like she wasn't used to speaking above a whisper. I told her it was fine. I didn't know why. I should have said no, but I couldn't. There was something about her, like if I turned her away, something worse would happen. So I let her in and showed her to the rack with our vintage gowns. She moved slowly but directly, like she already knew what she wanted. Her hand went straight to the dress, an original Dior from the 50s that almost no one even touched because of the price. "Cost isn't a factor," she murmured, running her fingers over the lace like she remembered it. She asked to try it on, alone. I said sure and left her to it, pretending to organize receipts just to keep myself distracted. I kept glancing at the dressing room curtain, waiting to hear the usual rustling or zippers catching, but it was silent, too silent. After what felt like forever, I heard the soft swish of fabric and looked up. She stepped out wearing the Dior, and for a second I couldn't breathe. I've seen hundreds of brides in that shop, but she was something else, not just beautiful, perfect. The dress looked like it had been made for her. She twirled slowly, smiling at herself in the mirror. I couldn't even speak. "Oh, this dress," she said, almost giddy. "I don't need to see anything else. This is it." I finally found my voice. "It's perfect on you. Go ahead and change, and I'll get it rung up." She smiled at me with tears in her eyes. It hit me then. This wasn't just a dress to her. It was a memory, or a promise, something she'd been chasing for a long time. She disappeared behind the curtain again, and that's when the air shifted. At first I didn't notice. I was tapping something into the register, half thinking about what I'd do with the commission. But then I realized, too much time had passed. 10 minutes, 15. The shop felt colder, heavier. I glanced toward the curtain and waited. Nothing. I walked over. "Miss," I called gently, "are you okay in there?" No response. "Don't worry if the zipper's stuck. We get that a lot with the older gowns." Still nothing. I hesitated, then slowly pushed the curtain aside. She was still wearing the dress, standing exactly where I'd left her. But her whole body, her entire body, was on fire, and not moving. She wasn't screaming. She wasn't flailing. She stood perfectly still, like something was holding her in place while the flames devoured her. Her face was twisting, melting, but her expression didn't change. Her eyes, God, her eyes were wide and full of terror. I couldn't move. I couldn't even scream. I was locked in place, staring at this burning, silent bride. Then she looked at me and whispered, "Help! Me!" That's when I lost it. I screamed, stumbled backward, and felt a sudden heat on my scalp. I reached up. My hair was burning. Just the ends, but still. I ran to the back room, yanked the fire extinguisher off the wall, and called 911 with shaking hands. "There's a fire," I yelled into the phone, "at 5th Street Bridal. Please hurry." I ran back in, barely able to see, heart pounding like a jackhammer. I aimed the extinguisher and just sprayed. I didn't care about the damage. I didn't care about anything but putting those flames out and getting her out of there alive. But when the white foam settled, she was gone. Completely. No smoke, no fire, no burn marks. Just silence. And that dress back on the hook, perfectly placed, like she'd never worn it. When the fire department arrived, they found me standing there in the foam, pale, shaking, probably looking completely insane. I tried to explain. I told them everything. One of the guys patted me on the shoulder and said, "Probably just a candle burned too long, ma'am. No signs of fire here." Another one asked if I had anyone to call. I shook my head. I locked up that night with hands that wouldn't stop trembling. Thought maybe I was overtired. Maybe it was a hallucination. But when I reached up and touched my hair, the ends were charred, crisped, real. I tried to let it go. Told myself it was just stress, lack of sleep. But the next night, she came back. Same time, same lavender dress, same soft voice. "I'm sorry to bother you. I just need a dress for my elopement." I told her to leave. I begged her. I yelled. She looked so hurt, tears in her eyes. "I didn't mean to upset you. I'll come back tomorrow." And she did, every single night, always the same routine. She walks in, she finds the Dior, she smiles at it like she's seeing a lost friend. She promises to try it on tomorrow, then she leaves. After a few weeks, I stopped fighting her. I don't open the fitting rooms anymore. I tell her we're closing soon. She always nods, always promises to return, and she does. I still don't know who she is. I don't know where she came from or how she died. But I think that dress was hers. Maybe she never got to wear it. Maybe someone stopped her. Maybe the person she trusted most, her fiancé, was the one who lit the match. And I can't help but wonder, when she comes back tomorrow, will she ask me to help her again? Because I still hear her sometimes when the lights are off and I'm about to leave. That whisper, soft and broken. "Help me."